I've already played 50 hours and more of Vessel of Hatred on the review copy, Spiritborn gameplay happening in the background to vibe you already in for what is to come. One word, it was hard. I was used on the PDR to play the hardest difficulty and just still blast through everything. Well, the version we got to play was significantly more difficult, as it was a level 1 character without anything. So there was no Altars of Lilith, there was no Renown, nothing. A fresh brand new character, and guess what? You had to play on normal. Interestingly enough, you could straight away begin in Penitent if you wanted to, but it was an absolute drag and a nuisance. Now, that being said, the campaign was an absolute blast. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. It was 5 hours of amazing storytelling and great cutscenes. Plus, there's a bunch more side quests that I have not done that flesh out the story even more. Now, interestingly enough, the campaign was also the best way to level up your character. So taking your time and actually sitting through everything or clicking through however fast you feel still gave you the most levels. You turned around, talked to Dave, then you went to the left, turned to talk to Francis, killed 1 or 2 monsters or a boss eventually, and suddenly you had 5, 6, 7, 8 levels. And at the end of the campaign, there is a system that eases you into the end game. Well, that one gave you partially 3 to 4 levels per step of the quest line, not only bringing you to 60 really fast, also flying you into these 100, 200, 300 Paragon points you're looking for. Now already a very good heads up, because on the test realm, drops were horrendous. That is out of the way. It felt so good to play Vessel of Hatred and finally get items, especially with the Season 6 mechanic, the Realm Walkers, and the Seizing Realms. As you went down there to get your opals, the 15% bonus XP, haha. That also gave you tons of legendary items early. So no running around in blue and yellow gear all the time. No. We did actually get quite some aspects, especially with the campaign as well, quest rewards being legendary items that you step by step could get used to all the new aspects that the Spiritborn brings to the table. And mentioning the Spiritborn here, it was truly the most fun character to play the campaign through with, because the campaign doesn't need you to be the best of the best of the best player. It's curated fun content that you can also do with a very unoptimal build, especially if you do it in normal. And learning the Spiritborn alongside with playing through the campaign was truly a good experience. Now, there were some problems in the review copy, and that was a shortage of materials. That one gets a little bit offset with the opals of material, but in general, everything was a little bit too expensive. That's already changing to the live copy. We could literally not put all the aspects on, enchant our gear, then swap the aspects again. Didn't even have enough iron chunks to essentially masterwork your stuff. That felt absolutely limiting. And adding then on top the missing renown for more skill points, paragon points, even the base stats that you're getting from the Altars of Lilith. Whew, it was harsh. I was level 60, and then I actually swapped to Torment, but actually Hard Expert Penitent. Completely ignored that. Without having played the game before, without having your renown done, you truly don't want to mingle with those difficulties. And even then, the experience doesn't rise with the different difficulties if you're handing in a quest, which means doing your first campaign playthrough on anything but normal is just being complicated, because you're simply going to take longer against bosses that have 8 times the HP they should have. Now to new Vessel of Hatred game mechanics, formerly the Curious Undercity. It has been mentioned as a new level experience in the campfire chat. It's not that. It's more endgame to get Paragon points. It is super fun to blast through in a timely manner, but if you don't manage to get it done, especially as you're leveling and fleshing out your character and learning aspects and so on, you're not getting any loot. If you don't do it in time, no loot. It's still better to actually do the campaign, Hell Tides, whatsoever, and leave the Curious Undercity for the endgame to then, with the totems, actually target farm certain items, or simply in Torment 1 to blast through for good chests that will eventually give you then that ancestral gear with the greater affixes. I was lucky enough, for example, to just pull out 2 unique items straight away out of that chest, get the bonus rewards, without a totem or anything. Boom. Just super valuable. And for the Dark Citadel, you can see behind me in the background, I was there with 60 plus Paragon points, and I was playing with someone that had 300 plus Paragon points already. And we're doing it in Torment 1, the easiest Dark Citadel you can do. Torment 4 would be harder, and Torment 4 has to be done if you do want the super good looking cosmetics. Now for us in Torment 1, everything just died. But keep in mind, only because everything dies doesn't mean you're not going to wipe at bosses. Because if you don't do the mechanics the right way, if you fail to do the mechanics, all damage in the world does not help you. Especially one single character will have a hard time carrying 3 others if the 3 others are running around like headless chicken. So some communication is definitely needed, and there's still joy to be had playing through the Dark Citadel, especially when you're then doing it on Torment 4. That being said though, in Torment 4, you would also expect the players to be somewhat good, because you don't get into Torment 4 if you don't know how to do your equipment and everything, and how to actually play the game. Looking at Infernal Hordes, Nightmare Dungeons, and the Pit, all 3 are intriguing in the different difficulties. Because if you only want to play Torment 1, everything is Torment 1 hard. And you're going to get quick to a power level where you're like, I feel very strong. And if you're then at the point where you just don't feel the challenge anymore, you have the opportunity to essentially go to Torment 2 and 3, and suddenly it's like, oi, I need to improve. I need to get more, better, upgrade my gear a bit more, to then also, again, get this feeling of power. I am now, again, super powerful. Then the next jump, and the next jump, until you get to Torment 4, where you then completely 12 out of 12 masterwork flash out your gear, and will at some point reach that point of everything is just being crushed by me, 300 Paragon points. Then do a new character, get that to 60, and boom, he won't have the gear, but he'll instantly have 300 Paragon points and feel so good to play. Because you don't have to grind that again. You still do have to grind again your glyphs, but at least you're able to straight up fast track through the pit, that your glyphs are getting leveled faster than ever. Would I get the game for the campaign alone? I tremendously enjoyed it, and it was great moments. But for the campaign alone, you might not be getting worth your money, because it's relatively short. That being said though, there is bonus quests after the campaign, and even more story elements with a side quest that really flesh everything nicely out if you then so wish to spend more time with the game. Especially the mercenaries are a nice addition, with each their own lengthy quest line and good story behind it that felt very good to explore. All in all of the elements together really set up a good picture for the future of Diablo furthermore. If you don't like the new changes with the torment system and everything, it might be time for you to move on, because this is what we have now, and that's what we're going to be building on into the future. More systems added, maybe more difficulties, different items, different endgame activities, and each of these activities will then be always Torment 1, 2, 3, and 4 difficult, that we have varying difficulties for these respective challenges. I hope I could give you some good insight, might sway your decision and or not. We'll definitely do my leveling live streams here to ease you more in, Spiritborn guides, and all the changes to the Necromancer, which are vast and amazing. Enjoy, have a fantastic good day.